Welcome to the shadows of the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. Beyond its grandeur and beauty, secrets linger, whispers of the past, and tales of a room that should never be opened. Tonight, we step quietly into the darkness. Listen closely. And remember, some stories are not just told, they are felt. Deep within the towering, mist-covered Rocky Mountains, where snow clings to the peaks even in summer, and the wind echoes through the valleys like an ancient whisper, stands the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, a grand and imposing stone structure, rising from the wilderness like a forgotten fortress of old. Though visitors praise its beauty, a dark shadow of tales and chilling murmurs has long hung over it. And all of it began with a room that no longer exists, room 873. Many years ago, when the hotel was still young and rarely crowded, a pale, uneasy family approached its massive entrance through the thick mountain fog. A family of 4, with dust-covered clothing, trembling movements, and eyes that seemed to hide something following them from the depths of the forest. The father, restless and agitated, rushed into the lobby and demanded room 873 without hesitation. A room on the 7th floor overlooking the dense woods behind the hotel. That night, the normally silent 7th floor filled with disturbing sounds. Muffled screams echoed from behind the wooden door of room 873. Violent thuds, the crash of breaking objects, and then suddenly a heavy silence. Staff members approached the door, politely asking the family to quiet down. But after a moment, the noise stopped. No one answered, and the reason behind the chaos remained a mystery. By morning, the father had vanished. Without explanation, the mother and her 2 children quietly left the hotel, their lifeless expressions haunting the staff who watched them go. Search teams combed through the surrounding forest for days, but found no trace of the missing man. 3 nights passed. On the 4th, while freezing fog wrapped itself around the building, the man suddenly returned. His eyes were bloodshot, his steps unsteady, his clothes torn and drenched as if he had wandered through the darkest parts of the wilderness. Without speaking to anyone, he climbed the stairs and entered room 873. Moments later, a horrifying scream shattered the silence of the hotel. A scream so sharp that it echoed from the 7th floor all the way to the lobby. When security forced the door open, they were confronted with a scene that would haunt them for years. The mother and 2 children lay lifeless on the floor, and the father, holding a blood-stained knife, sat slumped against the wall. Yet the most disturbing detail was neither the violence nor the silence. It was the small red handprint smeared across the mirror, left by the little girl. A trembling mark, as if made in her final moments, unfinished, like a message she could not complete. After that night, the hotel permanently sealed room 873. But closing the door did not close the past. In the months that followed, guests in nearby rooms reported eerie occurrences. Some claimed that while walking through the hallway, they saw a woman in blood-soaked clothing drifting silently past, with 2 pale children following her. Others insisted that quiet sobbing could be heard late at night from behind the wall of the sealed room. Staff members admitted that the air in that part of the corridor was always, inexplicably, colder than anywhere else. Colder even in the warmest summer nights. Years later, a wealthy traveler, intrigued by the legend, paid a large sum to secretly stay away from this room. That night, just after midnight, he awoke abruptly. Something was in the room. In the dim glow of the lamp, he saw 3 ghostly figures. A wounded, sorrowful woman, and 2 silent children. When the woman realized she had been seen, she released a piercing scream, the same scream described decades earlier. Instantly, the lights in the hallway flickered and went out. After that incident, the hotel ordered room 873 to be sealed even more thoroughly. Not just the door, the entire doorway was replaced with a perfectly smooth wall, but even that did not stop the unusual events. Years later, another tragedy occurred. During a small family celebration, a young bride who loved dancing more than anything was meant to enter the ballroom by descending the grand staircase lined with candlelit decorations. As she stepped gracefully down the steps in her white gown, the hem of her dress brushed a candle's flame. Within seconds, it caught fire. Panicked, she lost her balance and fell down the staircase. She died instantly when her neck snapped. From that day on, guests occasionally reported seeing the ghostly silhouette of a bride in white wandering the ballroom and the stone staircases, searching perhaps for the final dance she never completed. Some claimed they could hear the faint rustle of her dress or glimpse a white shadow gliding behind them. Today, tourists from around the world visit the hotel, some for its beauty, some for its legends. Many wander down the 7th floor hallway, and where the door to room 873 should be, they find a smooth,
as night
suspiciously
closer,
perfect
the old
wall.
mansion basked in the warmth of its own
number,
light,
no frame,
a beacon in the winter fog.
no trace that a door ever existed. Some visitors say that if you place your hand on the wall at midnight, you can feel an icy breath beneath the surface, almost as if something behind it is still awake. In the end, the question remains unanswered. Are these events real? Or stories passed down through decades, kept alive by the cold stone walls of the hotel? Whatever the truth may be, one fact endures. Room 873 is gone. But no one can say it is truly empty.